Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Good, I'm doing well. So my name is Shauna Vo. Can you tell me your name?
Yeah, my name is Robert Jones.
What do you think brings you in today, Robert?
Yeah. So I've been dealing with some difficulties right now and feeling really stressed out and just some different things going on in my family life, relationships and yeah, it's just overall feeling like a lot of relationships in my life right now aren't going right and I don't know what to do, and it's very hard for me to come here and open up. Um, it's been difficult and feeling kind of trapped recently.
Can you explain a little bit more what you mean by feeling trapped?
Yeah. So, I feel like, through insight and looking back, would you like me to start from the beginning of how I grew up to get a better sense of the context?
Yeah, if you want, that's up to you. Yeah, definitely. I mean, background history definitely helps when it comes to kind of getting to the bottom of what's bothering you and what brings you in today. So yeah, tell me about your parents or your job if you have one, and what kind of childhood you have, because a lot
Yeah.
of our childhood kind of frames what some of
hmm
our life is going to look like. So what does that look like for you?
Yeah. So, I grew up in a very religious household, Catholic values. I'm myself am very conservative as well. That's how I grew up. Um, Growing up, um, and I was taught like not, being a man, not showing as much emotion, and just being strong with your emotions, and you know, that kind of I feel like, you know, again uh, through insight has really made me not open up to people because I just been so difficult to do that. And you know um my parents are still married for 40 years. And uh, I have two other sisters, but being the only boy, you learn to, I guess, be strong-willed.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
So it
So
sounds like societal norms have been kind of put on you that aren't,
yeah.
we all have
Yeah.
to
hmm
sort of conform to societal norms. And society says that man should act a certain way,
hmm
which is not really true. Men are
hmm
allowed to have feelings. Every human has feelings. But it
hmm
sounds like that's kind of driving some of the issues that you're having as societal norms of the way a man,
hmm
quote unquote, should behave. Can
I
you um tell me a little bit more about how that's influencing your life? I know you stated that you're not able to express your emotions. You
Yeah.
kind of bottle
hmm
things up. Would you
hmm
say that's true?
Yeah, absolutely. So, um, yeah. So I had a girlfriend. We never got married, never engaged, but we were with each other for several years.
Hmm.
Now that I am 35, we dated for approximately about 5.5 years, I want to say. We ended things about a year ago. It's gotten easier, but it's still always a work in progress because you're with somebody for so long. But one of the root of the issues was um she felt as though I emotionally wasn't giving her what she wanted, because I just couldn't open up and be emotionally vulnerable.
Hmm.
Um, and also on top of that, feeling with my coworkers, having a really hard time um opening up to them, feeling very, and that's made me feel just very depressed and having feeling like I'm having depressive episodes, and just these constant of, feeling optimistic, but then getting in these funks. And it's those two types of interactions have been tough.
Yeah, it sounds like you're having a hard time with your emotions and regulating them and even maybe understanding them.
Hmm.
When when you're depressed, can you talk to me about a little bit what that looks like for you?
Yeah. So when I'm depressed, I've never had suicidal thoughts, nothing like that, or homicidal thoughts. It's just more of a feeling of like some days, oh, like it's really hard to get out of bed, and I've called out of work, at
Mhm.
times. I've been, um, people would reach out, and I just haven't responded to them. It's hard for me to leave my apartment, and um, just these constant negative thoughts of what I could have done better with my longtime ex-girlfriend, and when I make a mistake socially, just kind of beat myself up about it.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're kind of stuck
Hmm.
from after you and your girlfriend broke up, from kind of moving forward, and
Hmm.
you have these sounds like you have these emotions where you kind of just want to cut out the world so that
Hmm.
maybe you don't have to feel certain
Hmm.
emotions
Yeah.
that are uncomfortable for you. Does
Hmm.
that sound like something that is happening?
Yeah. When you put it in that perspective, I would say that that is certainly a good way to look at it.
Yeah. Is there anything that has helped you kind of get out of bed and socialize with your friends or coworkers or family? Is there anything that kind of gets you up and moving?
Yeah, I would say that, obviously the bills do have to be paid, right? So, that it's a necessity regarding work.
Mhm.
I would say that, I don't like to be alone. I, it may be hard for me to get out of these moods, but I don't like being alone. And when um when I'm feeling depressed and go to work, even though I'm not saying much, just being around people helps.
That's great that you know that there's something that actually does help. It is
Hmm.
hard to lay there and say, "Oh, I gotta get up. I gotta go to work."
Hmm.
And but when you get there, it sounds like you do enjoy your coworkers. You do enjoy going to work. It's just that initial getting
Hmm.
up and doing it. The motivation sounds like.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you kind of want to go over? I know our sessions unfortunately are short. So far we kind of talked about your, religious background, your breakup with your girlfriend that is impacting you socially and emotionally, managing some strong emotions
Hmm.
such as depression. You are also, sounds like, trying to have motivation to just kind of go out in the world and do everyday things.
Hmm.
If you could rate your depression right now, what do you, out of a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think that would be?
Right now, I just feel like I've been in a funk for so long, and I wouldn't say hopeless, but just kind of feeling like, when am I gonna get a break? I would say about on 6.5, 7 would be
Okay.
fair. Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that you still have hope because hope is important. It's important to get us through life and
Hmm.
life's challenges. So tell me, what do you think a 10 would look like?
A 10 for me on my scale, or just in the context of society.
Well, if so, a 10 maybe in my brain, so tell me if you think the same way, would be,
Mhm.
getting up out of bed, going to work, enjoying other people's company, maybe
Okay.
being able to somewhat talk about my
Okay.
feelings,
Okay.
or,
Okay.
like that
Mhm.
kind of thing. A 10 would be
Okay.
everything seems okay, that I
Okay.
feel happy and
Okay.
I'm able to kind of get out of
Okay.
bed.
Yeah. So when you put the scale like that, I'm gonna say that, like, let's see here. I would say my depression, right, would be about 3.5 if we're going on the scale that way, instead
Oh,
of
okay.
7.5.
Okay.
So yes. Yeah. So I would say that we're gonna switch that around. But
Sorry, I should
um
have explained that a little bit more.
no.
1
So
is not so good and 10
yeah,
is
yeah,
excellent. So I guess
yeah.
kind of in that
Okay.
scale. Sorry
Yeah.
about that.
No,
That was a little
three and a
confusing.
half. 3.5 would be good. So for a one, I would say a one for me would like, not getting out of bed, skipping work, not talking to anybody, and really maybe at times drinking the day away. I wouldn't say you cope with alcohol, but there's been times in the past that certainly throughout the year I've turned to alcohol and I feel like I've drank my emotions away.
Yeah, that sounds really tough. I know sometimes we use alcohol as a coping mechanism, especially when we don't really have coping skills to manage the strong emotions like your breakup with your
Mhm.
girlfriend. So I feel like that's something that we can work on is we could start small, just identifying some of the emotions that you're having and maybe a deep dive into what is preventing you from fully understanding those emotions.
Okay.
I'm sure you're aware of happy, sad, mad, but expressing them and managing them are a different kind of ball game. So I
Mm,
think that we could definitely work on that. What do you think?
I I would like that.
Okay, that sounds good. So I kind of had a rating scale, which you had already said. How are you feeling today? I kind of want to do a follow-up check-in list. Um, so can you name one thing that's kind of brought you joy
One thing that's
today
brought
or in the last week?
the last week, I had a positive interaction with my coworker.
Oh, that's nice. Those are the things that put smile on our face, kind of make us want to
Yeah.
interact.
Yeah.
And one challenge that you have overcome.
Challenge. Say a challenge that I've overcome is I've definitely when a couple of days ago when I just woke up and just felt very upset and down and maybe feeling exhausted because my mind was, feeling like it was racing a little bit. I definitely was able to talk to people more than I thought I would in the morning. Not because I was tired, just because of just the day previous just exhausted me so much from my emotions.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. That means that you can overcome some of these depressive states and getting out of bed and talking to people. That's nice to hear because that's where your hope comes from, that that
Absolutely.
you're able to do it before and now maybe you could do it again.
Absolutely.
So I also wanted to mention that next time, so usually I do this with all my clients, is I do a PTSD rating scale. So I
Hmm.
figured next time we could kind of talk about that and go over that scale and talk about how you felt about that scale. Is that
Okay.
okay with you?
That is totally fine.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much, Robert, for coming in, and I hope to see you soon.
All right. Thank you.